Hello and welcome to Caldwell County Today. I'm Paige Counts, Public Information Officer for Caldwell County. Today I have Lisa Caviness with Caldwell Hospice and Palliative Care joining me. Welcome, Lisa.
Hi, thank you, Paige.
Today we're going to talk about end-of-year giving.
Yes.
And when we think about hospice here in Caldwell County, we are so blessed because most of us just know that hospice is there for end-of-life care. But really, it's your donors that make that possible. Tell me a little bit about that.
Okay, that is so true. And your donations matter through the whole year, but your end-of-year donations especially matter, and especially in the environment that we're in right now with COVID. And they matter because a couple of reasons. Insurance doesn't cover the whole cost of hospice care, but Caldwell Hospice provides care to anyone who needs our services, regardless of their ability to pay. And the way that we're able to do that is because of the generosity of our community. They make that possible to live out that philosophy of care. And not only does it cover that gap where insurance doesn't cover, or if there is no insurance, it covers it all. But there are extra enhanced features or enhanced services that we provide that there's no payer source, but we believe they're important to provide because they improve quality of life.
And some of those things that are provided solely through donations are things that I feel like our community has just come to expect hospice to provide, like bereavement care.
Right. That is one. We not only provide bereavement care for our patients and their families, but anyone in our community who has lost someone to death will provide grief support, and that's to anyone who needs it, and that's regardless of ability to pay. Those are provided at no cost to them.
And that support is support groups, it may be counseling.
Right. Children's grief camp.
Mm-hmm. And it may just be a pamphlet, some kind of brochure that you hand out.
Right.
But all of those things cost money to produce.
They do.
What other services that people may not be as familiar with?
Well, there's our dementia care program, the virtual dementia tour, which we're disappointed we're not be able to do that during COVID, but hopefully that will be back after things come back to normal. Heart and lung end-stage disease. We have cardiac and pulmonary care at home programs. The Legacy Project, which is video interviews that are edited, and it's messages and stories and things that you can leave for your family. Something new that we're very excited, we've received a grant to cover part of the cost of this, is the Ultimate Virtual Journey. And it uses the virtual reality goggles. And we've started using it a little bit, one with a veteran, and he was a Vietnam veteran, and he was dying from the side effects of Agent Orange. And he wanted to go visit the Vietnam Wall, but his health started declining really rapidly, and then COVID, travel restrictions, he was unable to do that. And so this allowed him to visit, and it's very real. Your brain accepts that as reality in about 8 seconds, I think it says.
Wow.
And I spoke with his wife sometime afterwards, and she said it was such a reverent moment. She said it helped her to see him do something that he wanted so badly to do.
And I think if I remember correctly, when I talked with, I don't know if it was your volunteer coordinators or who was talking about the experience, that maybe somebody had done Disney World.
Yes, they did. It was a mother, that was kind of their annual trip, and she said, I would love one more time to go with my daughter. And they went to the Magic Kingdom, and she said, you could just hear, the sounds like they were riding the rides, they were singing along with the music, and it was just a very special time with them, and the mother and the daughter were able to go through it together.
And you'll be able to do this for as many hospice patients as are interested, right?
I think so, yeah, that are appropriate can physically do that.
Right, of course, because we wouldn't want to confuse anybody with Are there other things that donations provide?
The vigil music by the bedside. There are a lot of things. Aromatherapy, massage therapy, lots of things like that just enhance the quality of life. Massage therapy, a massage feels good and that's relaxing. But if you are a patient with like ALS or something that has trouble breathing, they report that, and it's trained therapeutic massage, that it helps improve their breathing, gives them some relief. So it's more than just, it helped me to relax them. It helps their quality of life, it helps them breathe. That's one of the most examples that stands out to me the most when I was learning about that.
So really, you say quality of life, it's pain relief, it's comfort, it's all of those things that you're providing.
Right.
What about people who maybe don't think they can give a financial gift, but they may want to provide snacks for Kirkwood or for the Robbins Patient Care Unit? Are those still needs?
Oh, absolutely. Because the family very often they don't want to leave, but just that's a practical need. And that meets to just run down to the family kitchen, and there's a snack there that they can just pick up and stay with their families. And
those snacks are free to the families, and they're provided because of generous donations, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you maintain a wish list.
We do.
Where can people find your wish list?
You can call and get that from the front desk. I think it's also on our website. And periodically it's on our Facebook. I just put it up there once in a while. But any of those things we're very appreciative of. And the community has been very generous in helping with our COVID needs wish list.
Is your COVID needs wish list different from your regular wish list?
It had a lot of PPE items, and the community really responded to that as well. Hand sanitizers, gloves, and those kind of things.
Maybe even some Clorox wipes, I imagine.
Absolutely. That's always a need.
Those things that are a little bit difficult to find sometimes.
Yes, they are.
Lisa, for people who are interested in learning more about hospice, what's the best way to learn more?
Well, one of the easiest ways is to look on our website and just explore there. In addition to just giving an overview of our services, you can look at past newsletters, brochures that get more detailed about different parts of our services are all accessible from our website. Our Facebook, we keep up-to-date things there. But you can call and if you're interested in being a volunteer or think you might be interested in being a volunteer. We're not able to use volunteers in the same way that we were before COVID right now, but there's still a need, and we're still doing volunteer trainings. They're virtual now. It's a 2-day training, and you register and you go through the same process, but then you get a Zoom link, and we do those trainings via Zoom, and so everybody's ready for when we can
do it again, and we're hoping that's soon.
Yes.
I read something earlier today that said they hoped vaccines were widespread by early 2021, so we really hope you will be back to
we do too.
More of a normal really soon. Lisa, I think I ask you this probably every time we talk, but if you described hospice in just a few words, Caldwell Hospice and the services they provide, how would you do that?
The care you deserve. And that's more than just a tagline. It's really something that we strive to do. And we care about our community. We care about our patients and their families. And we care for them the same way we would care for our own family members. And we think our family deserves the best. And so that's what we want to provide for our patients.
And end-of-year donations help you to do that.
They absolutely do, and we're so appreciative of our community because they have a long history of being very generous and supportive of Caldwell Hospice and the work that we do, and it really is a team effort.
And as we close out the year, you have a campaign kind of going to thank people who give, and that doesn't mean monetarily. It could be physical donations with wish list and volunteers. But tell me about that campaign. I guess we're calling it a campaign.
It's just a way to give back and to let people know that what they do, no matter how large or how small, it matters. And we are very thankful.
What else do we need to talk about, Lisa? Have I forgotten anything?
Well, if you would like to make a monetary donation, there are several ways you can do that. You can do that by mail, and I'm sure they can put the address on the screen, and that's 902 Kirkwood Street, Northwest Lenore, North Carolina, 28645. Or you can call 828-754-0101 and do that over the phone. Or you can go to our website, and there's a safe place to make a contribution there.
And what's your website?
CaldwellHospice.org.
And like you said earlier, there's a lot of information. And I haven't looked at your website in recent weeks, but I believe you even had some patient stories on there.
We do. And we just fairly recently updated those, so we try to keep those a little fresher. So you could keep coming back.
Keep coming back and read the work and how your money's being used. And also, I would recommend your newsletter, your mailing list.
Right, Caroline's newsletter. And past issues, like I said, are on our website, but you can be added to that and receive that in the mail.
How often do you do your newsletter?
We do that twice a year. It's in April and October.
So it'll be a few months before a new one comes out.
But it's almost time to start.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, it's probably time to start already for you.
It is.
Because that's quite the process. It's quite the undertaking.
It is.
What else have we need to talk about, Lisa?
Well, we are very thankful to the community for what they've given, and I meant to mention this earlier, but their support has allowed us in the fiscal year 2019-20 to provide over $1.6 million in patient care there was no reimbursement for. And so even small, what some consider a small donation, all those add up to $1.6 million. There was not a contributor that gave 1.6, but all those added up to allow us to do that.
So that's memorial contributions. Maybe just somebody wanted to give. It doesn't have to be for a reason. I mean, just other than you want to support hospice.
Yes.
Okay. Lisa, thank you for being here today, and thank you for talking about the needs at hospice. Sometimes we forget because we're like, oh, that's health care. There's insurance to cover it, but not always.
Yes, but we're going to always provide that care.
And thank you for providing that care and to the staff at hospice, because it truly has enhanced our community.
Thank you.
And thank you for watching Caldwell County Today.